Hey, hello everyone. Shriram here. Okay, good to see you all. Hey, thanks all for joining here on time. I appreciate your time to be here, and it's a great Friday. You are free to be here. Put your cam off if you want, so that we can listen to you when the Q&A session comes up. Okay, thanks all for being here. For the people in the Zoom, people in the YouTube, I appreciate your time. Fridays are so good, you know. From school days, we were so excited. The moment Friday comes, we know that hey, it's going to be a weekend. We're going to have a lot of fun at home, right? That's how it was a Friday evening, 4:30 school gets over and we'll run over to home. In corporate life also, Friday was a slightly good because we used to have a party, fun on the Friday night, on Saturday, Sunday, happy, come back again, work. But recently with the COVID, do you see big difference between Friday and Saturday? Anybody here? Many times we feel that there is not much difference. Only thing, the difference between Friday and Saturday, Sunday is, of course, in Friday, you are sitting in front of a laptop. Maybe Saturday, Sunday, you stand near the balcony with the same laptop, but watching Netflix, right? Almost it's a day has become like a balcony and your living room, and life getting a little tough. Anyway, we are getting better day by day. Things should be good going forward. So look positive, do some exercise, stay fit. Okay, this is a program on Fridays. Thanks all for joining here. And we have to talk about project management, how to do agile management, how to be an efficient leader, right? Those are things we talk. And I welcome all the people who have learned classes with us, who have learned in different area, but still you want to listen to how the management goes. Before I jump to the subject, I was reading about the good leadership model and what is a good thing they carry with them. One thing was the interesting statement I was reading that one of the good thing or one of the pleasant thing a person can do or a great top leaders do is carrying a pleasant expression in their face, pleasant expression the way they talk, the pleasant expression the way they do things. And also it says that one of the most beautiful thing to wear on you is a pleasant expression, pleasant way of doing things. Why this coming up is there are some people thinking or assuming that wearing expensive dress materials, expensive watches or shoes, expensive car, or living somewhere you have everything beautiful, that's life. Okay, that can give happiness, but not long run. And the leadership books talks about the people like Mahatma Gandhi or Nelson Mandela, Martin Luther King, or you talk about Abraham Lincoln. And these are people who carry a great expression with them, the way they do things, the way they look at people, the way they express themselves. That's the most beautiful thing or most expensive thing which you can wear on you, more than a gold ornament or a great perfume or a great dress material. I like that statement telling that have a good expression. You may have a lot of problem around you. It's okay. It's not a problem. That's life. But how do you go in front of people? That's pretty important. I like that sort of sharing with you. So being in this Friday, I would expect you to show some leadership at your family, with your people, give a good expression, and be with a good character and attitude. Superb. It's going to be a great weekend, right? Let's rock that. Hey, thanks all for being here again. Let's get into the subject today. We're going to talk about something on project management, where the organization structure, how the structure look like. This structure process, when I'm explaining, you may feel, yes, this is what my company does. Or I don't know, I'm in a very small company, I don't see this process, maybe. So what we're going to learn here is it's purely towards your examination. If you're targeting PMP, Project Management Professional Certification. Shriram, is PMP is that much worth? Is it reading worth? I don't want to comment on the examination because exam has a model and it is worth. And more than that, the way you prepare, the way you find your own character in the 2 months of preparation, I think there the PMP is different from any certificate in the market or any certificate or any exam which you make you to prepare for some timeline, which so shows your best character, which shows your best ability, I think that's worth doing. So in that case, I respect PMP for bringing that ability out of you. Specifically, this is one of the certificate which makes you to think about interpersonal skills. There are a lot of intellectual exams. I know a lot of intellectual exams, but that does not make you a good human. Whereas this kind of management oriented, interpersonal skills oriented certifications or studies make you a good human. So we need more good human in the society than more intellectual people. I think some of you will agree with me. Intellectual is good, but at a certain level, it should be with a good human, right? That's important. Great. Let's get inside. Before I jump more, I just want to listen to some of you. How is it going with your preparation? Can I see some thumbs up? Hey guys, I'm doing good. My preparations are good. I'm reading well. Right. Let me see your chat. Meantime, I'll go. Going great. That's positive. I can see thumbs up here in Zoom. People are telling, doing good. Fantastic. So don't forget, Saturday, we have a practice exam. Be prepared. I believe the Saturday exams are helping you in the sense of getting hold of the subject. Interesting, right? Because you have a push that, oh my God, Saturday I have an exam. I have to prepare. I have to read. If I don't read, I cannot answer. Right? That's important. So thanks a lot for the people participating on a Saturday exams because it takes energy to come and join the class. It's a 1 hour. If anybody don't know about it, it's a Saturdays. We have a mock exam. If you missed it, please participate. We talk about few questions of PMP. On Sunday, we talk about few questions on Agile. I would recommend you to participate and get some idea. That's good. Good to see a lot of chat messages. Thanks a lot, Shobha, Nina, Mukesh, and Raj. Okay, that's good. Fantastic, great. You know what? Why we conduct these exams? Primarily to give you confidence. You know one thing, the more you practice, the better you are. It's something like driving a car or driving a bicycle first time. You may fall 2-3 times and third time you pick up, right? So I don't want you to go with the fear to the main exam. Rather, you practice a number of exams, get questions clarified, you feel a better person. That's the intention. And thanks for all your support. With this, let's get inside. So first, let's talk about organization structure. Why an organization needs a structure? That's a question. It starts with a why. When I put a question why, it's something like this. The market is pretty competitive where you have to serve a number of customers. So a team of people who focused on one particular area can serve customers effectively, well and good. That's how the organization starts. Let's say a startup company. A startup company starts well with a set of people, and at the same time, they start focusing, delivering to the customer very effectively. Super good for first 6 months or 1 year, 2 years. Now, what happens is you have to serve more number of customers. When it comes to more number of customers, the startup company team of, let's say, 5 people or 6 people, like what Bill Gates did or Amazon did, they start up. They had a small level company. But at the same time, you have to serve more number of people with the same quality. Now, what happens? You have to have a multiple level of people to make this happen. Now, here comes the challenge. The challenge is the 4 or 5 people who did a startup company will have a great dream of serving customers. That doesn't mean all the people will have in an organization, isn't it? So you may have, but why should they have? There is a gap here, right? So the hierarchical gap starts happening where the core department of board of directors are so focused, they have to give great value to the customer. Whereas a department may not have, but let's not go to that area. I will cover that in another chapter or another session where I talk about how the organization strategy goes to the team. I'll talk about it. Now let's understand something on why they do these departments, why we have an organization, different layers, right? For that why, I want to give you, when an organization gets bigger and they want to compete in the market, when they want to serve more number of customers, definitely there are some structure needed. When the structure is not there, we cannot consistently serve. We can do once in a while, but you cannot be very consistent. To become very consistent, you need a structure. There it starts. Okay, what is that? Let's see some more. Certain factors. We are talking about PMP. Of course, PMP talks about project. I have said in multiple sessions, projects are the heartbeat of any organization, any country. You may learn anything in the world. You may be a data science expert, you may be a rocket science expert, you may be a doctor, you may be anything. But everything comes and sum up in one place, that's called project. You cannot escape. You may be any industry person. End of day, you get paid because either you directly work in a project or indirectly support a project. These are two things you're going to do. It could be president, the prime minister of a country, army person, a nurse, it's a roadside labor, anybody work towards the project. Okay, that's pretty clear. Now, a project get influenced by few factors. Last week you learned, right? We learned something called enterprise environmental factors, organizational processes. How many of you listened to that video? I missed it, Shriram. If you feel you missed it, go back and listen to our YouTube channel. There we have a video talks about EEF and OPA, some of the influencing factors in the project. Super. Now, apart from that, we have few things which influence the project. What are going to influence it? If you see, I have put some order here. The organizational governance. The governance is the way of working, the culture, right? Who decides the culture? In organization governance, it could be the board of directors. They say that the 4 or 5 people who start up the company. They'll be so eager to set up the rules, norms, compliance, right? So this governance is set up at organizational level. Big companies, small companies, startup company, every company will have it. That's a norm they follow. They keep upgrading, but that's a norm they follow. They tell that as per our company, they use the word as per our company, it means that's a thing. Apart from that, they also follow the government rules and regulations. See, you may be in pharma industry. You cannot tell that I will do something on my own. You have to follow the regulation of the pharma community or group, or you have to follow the government regulations. That's the organizational governance. Of course, I can cover another chapter. It's altogether a chapter. A governance of organization is having underlying something called project governance, because in an organization you have multiple projects, and that has a governance of how to do time management, how to do risk handling, how to do vendor management. So you will have some governance of within the project. Now the point here is, Shriram, why we are talking that here? If you question me, in project management, you should be aware when you are a leader or a manager, there are certain factors around us which can directly or indirectly do some good and bad. So what I'm going to talk today is about organization structure, which is one of that factor. So you can see a point number 3, I marked yellow. The reason I marked yellow is, even though we have these many factors, today we're going to see something called organization structure, which also can influence your project. You may be wondering why or how this can influence a project. Definitely influence a project. A projectized organization, functional organization work in a different model. You're going to see those things now. So what you see in the screen, you see governance at the organization, project level, organization structure. I'm going to talk about what are they deep inside. Then we have OPA, EEF. Anybody who crossed PMP will definitely know what is OPA, what is EEF. I have one analogy talking about, you have a car and this car will have 2 side mirrors. You will use it as you need. Okay, that's what you learned. And apart from that, we have something called assumptions and constraints. Maybe I'll cover another chapter there, but assumptions talks about certain interesting factors, what all you assume or a company assume or a project assume could be good for us or bad for us. Constraints are blockers, which can be there. Now, point here is, why I have to put this points is, if you're preparing for PMP, I recommend you to Google these words and read. There could be one paragraph, read it. Or, Shriram, I'm done with PMP already. I don't have a dream at all about the PMP. Still, somewhere you want to earn money, you have to know these factors. I see many people struggle hard in a corporate life to grow higher. Or they grow higher, but they cannot survive. Shriram, what do you mean by survive? The day doesn't go happily for them. Sometimes they feel, why I'm working? They keep thinking every 1 year, I will retire soon. I want to retire soon. Have you heard some people talking like that? Or some people tell that why a Monday comes. At least now work from home. There are some people coming to office those days. I heard that Monday morning, I don't know why I'm coming to office, man. I don't like it. You know why? The people has not learned the ground of certain things. These are the people who get stuck into political problem, get stuck into some of the problems which you don't know, but you name it as political. That's crazy, you know. If you don't know something, you'll tell it is politics. If you know something, you'll tell, oh, okay, that's what is working. So many people struggle here, experience of few years to high number of experience. So recommendation is please Google and read what is all about this, or go to PMBOK or guide, the Bible, which has all this information. At least read once in your life. Even you know things, read it again. Worth it. Okay, with this, we'll jump inside. Who are they? Who are they? Right? People. Who is this people? I was talking about, right? It's a startup company. It's a well-established company. How it works? Only by people. You may tell, man, robotic process will take over. So who will switch on the robot? Somebody has to be there. Right? So even though we talk a lot of technology, a lot of advancement, at the end, it comes with a person which has 6 senses in this blue globe or world or earth, what you called as. And here it will be always controlled by human being. Some people telling, no, robotic will take over. I saw the movie Matrix. All good to hear. But one day, one point, human will be the point of contact. So now let's talk about leadership. Of course, technology will support you, help you. If technology was supporting 10% 100 years back, 50 years back, it was supporting 35%. Now it may support 50%. It can even come 99%, but not 100%. 100 is always human. That factor you should understand, and you should respect people more than the tools and techniques around you. Oops, look like Agile principle, man. Yes. So these people are the one working in the organization. Now, what to do, Shriram? I know these people are so good people standing in front of us, maybe 5, 10 people, 100 people, 1,000 people. But how do you organize them? Now, when I say how do you organize, there comes the common or equivalent or same skillful people are getting grouped at one segment, or people working towards a common goal are grouped together. A common goal. When I work towards a common goal of constructing a beautiful information technology complex, IT complex, it's a common goal. A team of 500 people are going to work towards it, right? And there is a human resource department or recruitment department want to recruit 200 people for their company. They have a goal, but they are all same skillful people. Recruitment department of same skillful people are going to work together. So I'm slightly putting department, you're telling goal, what is happening here? So we have to understand some structures here, right? Let's understand some structures. Why I'm giving the basement is when you see the hierarchy in a company, don't see it as a tree structure. See it as a human being. It's a big mistake happens with many people. They go to their office, they'll have a tool, either use Microsoft Teams or internal chat or Outlook. You just click it, there'll be an organization structure. You can see a structure. There, they see the tag, but not the real human. But actually, there is a real human there. When you see the real human, the way we work with them changes a lot. Rather seeing them as a senior manager, director, senior director. No, that doesn't work. Okay. Let's jump a little more. Okay, there is a picture here. I know they put a lot of things in one slide. What I want to throw in your mind is something like this. Say there is a travel agent. Okay, on the leftmost you see a person. Maybe let him be from Japan. Okay, I'm taking from Japan. This person is a single guy who is so interested on showing a tour in a city like New York or Tokyo. He can take you around. Okay, one person, single person. What do you have to do? Just call him. Hey, Yan, I want to go here. Yan says, fine, man, I will take you where you want to go. This place. And he tells what's the amount, and you'll bargain it, fix it, go, you take all over the tour, come back, over. So single man, single plan, single shot, over. Your project is over. Your project is over, right? But this person slowly grows up higher. And now this guy runs some taxi group in New York City. Now he hires a few people. In the bottom picture, you can see he has some people who have knowledge in tours and travel. Tours and travel, these guys have a knowledge. So now this guy becomes a CEO, and this person is a knowledgeable person. Now he also hires some people who can take customer calls. He also hires some people on a finance department who have to handle the money of this, all the travel plans, right? So he is going to put a lot of effort on this segment of bringing up things like departments. Now, what happened is individually he was able to play out and make things like small projects, taking people around the city. Now the team size got bigger as they have to serve more number of customers. Now, when you see one segment handling a customer directly, it's good as a project. But when you want to handle more number of customers, you may need some departments because I have to show some consistency in my results. I'm in a finance department. I'm in a human resource department. I'm in a customer call department, compliance department, quality handling department. And so a lot of travel agency, they'll bring a lot of travel agents together who can be a department. Now, why I'm talking this area? Because you have to understand why they form it. Once you understand why they form it, it's easy for you to answer your exam questions, because some of them I found struggling here. Why an organization structure look like? My company don't have it. In fact, every company will have some portion of this structure. Right? That's how it is. Okay, this example is thrown in. I'll come back to this example again. Before that, I'll explain some more concepts. Okay, let's talk something about here now. So now I started telling that there are some organizational structures. I started telling about the example of a cab guy or a travel agent. Yep. Now we will see some factors about the structures. There are three things going to be in the structure. One is project oriented, other one is functional oriented, other one is matrix. Simple. In fact, there are more. In fact, there are few more are there. Hybrid is there, a different model is there. But let's not go there. Let's focus what PMI, PMBOK look out for an examination. They look out for these three things primarily. You should have possess a knowledge of project oriented, function oriented, and matrix. We'll talk one by one. So now, when I say project oriented, now I gave one clue for you that there is a person who want to run a travel agency where he or she will organize some set of people and make this execution happen. Now, if you watch out here, a project manager is a person who has an authority to make a decision on, could be of funding, could be on timeline, could be of risk handling, could be handling vendor, could be handling of stakeholders. He or she has a full control of project to take it forward, right? They look at the baselines, take care of it. In fact, they have a staffs in the sense of employees, in the sense of team who work with them. They can show them the vision, they can show them the goal, they can drive them towards that. They have the full authority. How do they get an authority? When the new project comes to the market, the project comes to the company, and the company names it as a project charter. In the project charter, a manager name has been pronounced, and this manager gets an authority. When you say authority, don't think just commanding. Authority means you have the role of deciding time, money, and other factors. Now here, this project manager has full control. At the same time, manager may report to a senior manager or a top level executives telling that where we are moving. This model you can find in many organizations where the project manager get a full control of things. When I say full control, they know how to handle resource like human, material, equipment ordering, everything they take care of it. They even watch out with the project management office, that is PMO, to talk about the compliance or governance being followed. They will be very clear on what to do. They'll be directly communicating with the customer. This is one thing. But some of the companies have project manager who have this knowledge, but at the same time, they cannot do everything on their own. See, project manager is a person who can handle everything on their own. But again, in some major grown-up organizations, they don't prefer this model because there could be some lagness of knowledge within the team members. So what they do now? Now, let's talk one more model. You will get to know why only a projectized organization cannot survive. We need one more model. The model is functional or function-oriented. Now you will see this function-oriented. The namings is given here, like production department, sales, could be marketing, could be financing, could be engineering, could be operations. Now, these all that we call it as departments, or we call it as the functionality that take care of your day-to-day operations. There'll be the individual department having their department head whom they have to report. They do have their own individual projects, and also they start supporting the project managers. I'll come to that segment. A quick understanding for you. When you understood the project manager who has a full control of everything what they do, they have their own team members who are capable of doing things and they work with them. Now we have a functional manager, and this functional manager is a department wise, like you see an engineering or a salesperson do that. But here, one thing you have to observe, I'll go back to the slide. One thing you have to observe here is in functional, what happened is only the people with the same sort of skills work together. What do you mean by same sort of skills, Shriram? A finance department, of course, all the finance oriented people are going to be there. Marketing, engineering, you recruit, you organize a team which is of the same model and same mindset people, same skillful people be there. Why same skillful people there? Because it's a department who is centralized for the organization. A procurement department, they do a very good procurement system. Finance, sales, right? That's how it is. Now I'll go back. In the previous one, what I showed you, here, you cannot expect everybody will have the same sort of skill, right? If you see here in this project manager list, if you say staff 1, 2, 3, each one possesses different model of skills, which can give a combination for the project to succeed, right? That's how the project manager will have, where the next one, when I say there, it will be same sort of skills. Now, there is some companies work on only functional oriented. There are some organizations work only on the project oriented, but very rarely you will see these models individually working. But when you see some bigger companies, the companies like well-established supply chain, or the companies like Amazon or Google, you talk about big manufacturing industries, you talk about big construction industries, big software companies like TCS, Wipro, what they do is they will have both a segment. Now they will try to bring the energy of both, because each one has a certain gray area. If you go to fully projectized, some of the functional factors is not highly taken care. If you go to fully functional oriented, there won't be a split of cross-functional idea. It will be only the team of same skillful people. So you won't have cross-functional. So this also sometimes doesn't work. So what they do, we bring something, the third one, which is talking about the matrix model. In this matrix model, what they do is they're going to mix the benefit of both. So what is the benefit of both? When I say benefit of both, you are going to bring the project manager and also the functional manager together. How it works? What will happen is you have a project to do, right? In this project, you may need a person from production, you may need a from sales, you may need a person from finance, market, R&D. So you bring people together, and this makes a group here. So this project manager will have his or her own team, which is a skillful in different areas. Along with that, they can collaborate with the functional department to make happen. At least myself, I'm working with the company, let's say last 15, 18 years I'm working. I would work with some of the big companies. None of the company individually run a project department. Rather, this project department will have a mix with finance department in the company, or a human resource department, or a marketing, or a sales. Pre-sales department do the sales part and then hand over the project to the team, and we have to take it up. So point here is, in matrix, has tried to mix both. Why we have to mix both? For that, I will show you some details which will help you. Now, if you watch it here, why they have to mix it? When you say mix it, you will find something called matrix. By the way, what you saw is a functional department-wise. Projectized, it's a purely focused on their skill, cross-functional. Now, when you have both strength of functional, strength of projectized, it becomes a matrix. Now, in this matrix, what happens, it becomes a balanced. You can see this model, the branch down model, balanced one, is a most common model. In balanced matrix, what happens is project manager possesses strength, of handling the team, taking decisions at his own circle. At the same time, the functional manager has his own strength of handling the team members or helping the people to move forward. For example, I may connect with the human resource department to help me with handling the people on the appraisal system, right? I may be a project manager. I may know how to do budgeting. I may know how to talk with a customer. But when it comes to human resource in my department, I will have a human resource department there. I can reach out to them. Hey, Mr. Suresh, you are a human resource department head. Can you please help out for the appraisal cycle? What to do? I don't break my head. And this department of human resource will be in touch with my project team to tell them what is the appraisal cycle of hike system, promotion system, or performance improvement system has been taken care, right? Like this is a centralized department can be in touch with multiple project managers. Here, the balance is there. When I have some question, I can ask a human resource. Human resource have a question, they'll ask me, hey, there is a person abruptly resigned or abscond from office. What is happening there? Can you give me a data? Can you give me some review? I'm liable to answer them. I cannot tell, hey, I'm a project manager, man. I know everything. So don't question me. No, I cannot tell. I may have control over the budgeting, but when it comes to people, I have to go with them. Procurement department, I may be a project manager, but the procurement related policies or what kind of rules to be followed or how the procurement bidding going to happen, I have to go with the procurement department and they help me on how to deal with the customer. So they take a charge of procurement system where I take care of the project management system. So this balance matrix is pretty common in the market, you can see. I'll tell you, most of you, if you are in a moderate come high level organizations, you mostly work in a balanced matrix. Of course, there are some places in this matrix, when you mix both, at times, you will see a place where the project manager has an upper hand. When the project manager has an upper hand, it's called a strong matrix. If you can see here, it's a strong matrix. In strong matrix, what happens is the project manager holds upper hand. What do you mean by upper hand, Shriram, here? They take most of the decisions regarding the project, including sometimes on the resource handling or procurement handling. There'll be more charge. They know more information. They have more control. To sell one statement, they are the decision makers. In a strong matrix, a project manager is a decision maker where the functional manager will only contribute. They cannot override them. Some companies, some places need it. It's not force, it's a need. Other side of the coin, if you see, it's a weak matrix. In weak matrix, what happens is, of course, you can know now that the project manager power goes down and the functional manager power goes high. In some places, functional managers drive the system. The project manager will report to them. Right? They can be a coordinator or they can be an expeditor. Right? Coordinator is something project manager will be with the functional manager. The project manager has some authority to make a decision, but not strong decisions like budgeting, timeline. They can't do that. They can only do some small level of decisions, but still they have to report to a functional manager. Some organizations follow that, right? There is something called expeditor. The expeditor is just to push the team. Hey, come on, you guys are doing a good job. Go ahead. Help them, support them. That they will do, but no decision-making authority. In a weak matrix, keep in mind, right? Coordinator or expeditor can be there, which is a very less power, but they're part of the team here. Shriram, in exam, they'll ask each line of question. Of course not. There could be one, maybe two questions. Basically make you to understand, are you getting the flow of, there should be some organization. In organization, there'll be some structure followed. In this structure, there'll be something called project-oriented, functional-oriented, and mix of two. In exam, keep in mind, whenever they throw a question, by default, they are talking matrix organization. Specifically, they mention in the question, it is projectized organization, then you should think the project manager has upper hand. If not, they tell explicitly it's a functional organization, explicitly. If they don't tell anything, it's a matrix organization. But again, you have to watch out the keyword. Are they talking about the weak matrix or a strong matrix, right? Yeah. So now let me put a question back to you. How many of you see yourself, you are working in a balanced matrix? You have a finance department, you have a human resource, a sales, marketing, and you generally interact with them to get some information. And they too have control on your project. You cannot tell, no, you can't control. They too have a control on a human resource handling specifically. We see that. Have you seen these things in your corporate? You do that? Ah, good. Most of you seeing that. Oh, man. Most of you matrix. Okay, let me see. Definitely one person will be in this group. Anybody here only projectized? You don't have a functional department to take charge. You'll be only projectized. You guys take most of the decision and you don't need a department there. It is full charge of project management. Anybody here? Pratham, you are on projectized. Okay, because very rarely I see that. It was there some years back, but after the decades of changes and the PMI's multiple articles and things, I think it made a stable statement. Now we need different departments, but there is nothing wrong, nothing right here. Each one has its own value. Now I will go back to the first statement I started. Why we do all these things, don't think it's a formal structure. Any company has to definitely do that. No urge, no push. But when you start a new company, a startup company, imagine yourself tomorrow you're starting a startup company with 4 or 5 people. You're starting some new concepts. Let's say you want to bring up some new music organization where you releases new audio video systems with a set of people. You 4 or 5 talented people, you start doing that. Initially, it works well. Why you use the word initially? See, initially means when you serve the people of a few hundreds, you will be good. When you want to serve thousands of people, you cannot run on your own for a long time. You'll be exhausted. You'll be tired. You'll feel, man, I couldn't. See, after some time, what happens is you will lose that connection with the customer. Many companies struggle in this area. So they don't want to lose the connection with the customer. That's the reason they bring different departments. So I don't want to lose any of the financial related details to my customer. But one of my customers says, I'm not receiving the invoice on time. It's a mistake. Department, the finance department. And somebody says, Sriram, there is no follow-up. I asked for the course last month. Nobody's asking me. So you have to go sales and marketing department, right? But as I said earlier, keep in mind, your goal doesn't mean all the department will have it. God's sake, man, that's tough, right? Pretty tough. No, Shriram, I'll pay superb salary. If you tell me that, I'll ask you to read Herberg's principle. Have you seen Herberg's burger principle? If you read the Herberg's principle, salary will not make a person to do super job. It should be a responsibility, their commitment, their involvement that makes it happen. Okay, I will talk this in a different topic, but here to understand that every organization has a structure, but at the same time, I do know that some of you working in a company will not have the structure at all. I started my career with 4 people in a small company where we don't have any structure. Okay, so we will just be projectized. Sure, what is projectized? The same person will take full charge of decision making and they handle every segment of it. Right? Then what is only functional oriented, Shriram? Only functional oriented, a human resource department drive. They run a recruitment drive and bring 200 people inside. They take full charge of that project. Finance department implementing GST in India. It's their project, right? It's their project. The same skillful people in finance department in an organization join together, sit and work day and night, implement GST. Isn't it that happen? So they do that. So on need basis, these departments work together. For them, we have to support. The functional department of finance comes and tells me, Shriram, I know you are a technical guy. Can you help us with something on GST implementation? So I'll tell, hey, come on, man, I'm a project manager. Let me take charge. No, we are the functional department. In my functional department, you are going to implement the GST model. So obey what I say. Oof. Is it a hard statement? No, that's a rule because it's their project. We have to be with them, possibly. But if you implement something on finance related software, they will come and listen to you, right? Okay, let me not make it pretty complicated. I'm trying to make it very simple. Don't read only with the books recommendation. It's not only here. Anybody joins our classes, I'll tell you, please look out your family, how departments work. Shriram, in my family, no department, Shriram. I have only one central government, and he or she take cares. If you still feel that, there are some departments at home. They have the functionality. If not at home, look at your corporate where you work. I'm sure at least a few functionality will be there. Functional oriented will be there. Project oriented will be there. I'm sure it will connect well. Right? Okay, let's see. Karuna put said home departments take charge. Okay, now let's see the example again. Let's see, we'll connect it back again. Let's take a travel agency, as I said, Newark City travel agent. Now there's a Newark City travel agent. When this person want to run a project which is very focused on helping people to go over the Newark City. Now this project, if it is a projectized one, where the full control of the budget and timeline and the people handling and what to do, everything taken care by this project manager who take charge of it. For example, from let's say from Tokyo, some people are traveling to New York City. Let's say 15 people coming from Tokyo to New York to see New York. Now here, the project manager, the projectized organization, here there won't be multiple departments, so that they take charge of how to handle this project end to end, fully within their charge. Here, this is full charge of a project manager, projectized, right? So they take charge. There could be some finance help needed, there could be some other help needed, but they take the full charge of what to do, when to do. So this happens as a projectized. If you talk about functional, I gave a clue about how a functional level of finance department implementation. Let's say there is something on compliance and security. Is it even different department? This compliance and security, they want to implement something on the compliance in your corporate. They take full charge of that department oriented implementation in corporate. It's a functional department implementation. There, they have the control of all the factors of implementation. So now these two are there. This is very uncommon, less common things happening. More common thing is putting things together. Now this project manager and the functional manager work together so that they have the customer onboarded for the travel. You book the tickets, ticket department. You have a sales department, sold these tickets to them. And you have a finance department collecting the money, customer care department picking up the car. And you have an agency who pick up them from the airport. So you have different departments who organize towards one goal, and this project manager will drive it. So the project manager will have an idea, what is the end goal to be achieved, and he or she will give the goal split across with all the team members, and they'll start working, right? So that doesn't mean that the functional team will come and sit in your office and work. They may be there in their office only. Whenever you need, you make a call, you make an email, they'll support you, because they will not serve only for your project. They will serve more than one project. So they should be available with multiple projects, right? I believe that gives some basic idea for you. I hope you got some idea. Okay, let's touch some questions to see how much we got idea, right? Sometimes through questions, we learn better. You know what, this topic is not so complicated, but in exam, if you don't understand the concept, it will be slightly tougher. So let's start with the question. Would recommend you to read this question and tell me the first keyword, then go to the answers. One recommendation I always give there is read the question carefully, find the keyword, use elimination technique, kick out 2 items. Let's give a minute of time. Okay. God's sake, answer starts coming up. Are you sure? Are you sure? Okay. So what is it? What is the keyword of the question? Roles and responsibility. Very good. Very good. You got it. You got it. Got it. It's going to be a little tricky question for most of you. Okay, let me also read with you. You are working in a matrix organization and managing a project. Okay, you are having trouble working with one deliverable. So you ask the functional manager. The moment they say functional manager, now who you are working in a matrix organization. The moment they say you ask the functional manager, the moment they say you are the functional manager, now who you are a maybe a project manager, right? Managing the project. They're giving the word managing the project. So maybe a project manager, right? Let's assume like that. You are having trouble. Something's not good. And so you have to ask the functional manager to send you 2 team members who are experts in dealing with this type of work, right? We have a functional department who work on, let's say, quality testing. We want 2 more people. So there is a discussion between the project manager, functional manager to get some resource. It's a situation, a scenario is given. She agrees and provides you with the 2 of her best employees. Super, right? She's giving best of what? They have joined your project and you have given them their roles and responsibilities. You have given them roles and responsibilities. You have given them. When they say given them, what they have given here, will that be RACI? Responsible, accountable, consult, inform. Do you think that? Maybe that one? Maybe that one? You have given, already given. If already given, you have to be now be careful with the answer. You have given them roles and responsibilities, what to do in the project. Okay. They are also made aware of who will be responsible or accountable for each deliverable. Okay, very good. You have explained everything. However, they are still not clear about their roles and responsibilities. Okay, their roles and responsibilities. Their role responsibilities. There is a difference between you joined your project and you have given them the roles and responsibilities. They're also made aware of who will be responsible, accountable for each deliverable. Deliverable related responsibilities are different. They're still not clear about their roles and responsibilities. Now it's slightly getting tricky, right? So to make it clear, what document or chart, okay, will you show them? So, okay, now I'll make it clear. 2 departments are there. Project manager is there and some other department guys are there. And you're asking them, hey guys, can you come and join our party, do something? Hey, okay, we'll come. Good. They came in. Once they came in, what happened is you started explaining what you will do in the project, what she will do in the project. It's being explained to them, roles there. But still, they are not clear about their roles and responsibilities at an overall picture. See, here it is explained, right? They've explained on the deliverable, they are clear, but their roles, where they can say their roles in the organization, where they'll see that. Where you see your role, do you see your tag as project manager? Where you see your tag as project manager? Where you see your roles on the project manager? Now, if I give you an option to re-vote, which one you will go? Slightly tough question. Okay. Slightly tough question, but I can see answers coming up. Well, stands for organizational breakdown structure chart. You can see the hierarchical structure of your organization, the roles and responsibilities of each department. Now you should understand and keep telling that they come from that department to your group. They got the details about what to do inside the project, but they are not clear about their roles and responsibilities. Only thing, they didn't give a word that in organization level, they don't know. If they're given that, you'll easily find the answer OBS, right? They didn't give that word. They specifically missed that word. And they've 2 times mentioned that it's clarified. It's clarified. If you watch it here, they have joined your project. You have given them the roles. 1 time they explained. They are also made aware of who will be responsible, accountable. Again, they explained, right? They're given 2 times, making you sure that RACI is properly explained to them. They made it sure. After that, they're putting a question. Hey guys, however, they are not still clear about their roles in the group, right? So here, slightly tricky question because 1 word or 2 word could added more, will have given a more meaning, but they very cleverly left it after explaining last 3 statements. Now answer goes to B. Are you fine? Did you got some learning? Right? Slightly tricky, right? Slightly tricky. If you blindly see that, it look like racy. Okay, responsible, accountable, consult, inform. Right? But if you see carefully, why they have to explain 2 times, they're given it, still they're asking, means something this guy expecting more than us, right? So in exam, if you see something like that, they explain very well. Don't go to that answer. Be careful. That guy is asking not that answer. Go to the other answer, right? But for that, you should be knowing that what is OBS. If you don't know OBS, I'm sure you and me will choose RACI, right? That's important. Very good. Very good. Good. Good, 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 good. You are learning good things today. Let me see some more factors. Let's go next one. Let's see one more question to get some more clarity. Here is another question. Let's try it out. Okay, now don't jump to the answers. See what is a keyword you can tell me. Look at from the keywords. During the team member acquiring process, something is happening. You observe that a particular employee from another department can be used for your project for some work. Okay, it's a different department altogether. Altogether, different. It can be used. So you found it good. Therefore, you ask their functional manager to provide the employee an alternate days. You're asking some option. You're asking for it. Okay, what you're asking? Alternate days. You're not demanding that, hey guys, no way, you have to be there, right? So you're trying to do something. What you're trying to do here? The functional manager says they can provide with you the particular employee for only 2 days. See, you are asking something and that guy is giving something. It's a kind of, we do this in the supermarket. When you go to store, hey, I will do this, you will do it to me. What are you doing here? What are you doing here? If I do that, is it a develop project team? Strike out. Pre-assignment? Not at all. So it should be either of A or B. If I given a chance to you, which one you load? Right? So which technique you're using, they're asking. So if you find these 2 keywords, you are asking an alternate days and they are giving only 2 days. Something is happening. And that something, yes, obviously you all got it. It's a negotiation, right? You're negotiating. How you're negotiating? You're finding out, hey, can you give this? And they're saying, I'll give that, right? Sometimes it will be in the question like this. I will give something from my side. Can you give me from your side? So you will be like a trade, it will be happening, right? You negotiate it. Right, the negotiation slightly they'll turn it into influencing. You will not give an option that I will give something to you. You rather try to influence them. Straight away go to their mind and tell that if you do this, a company goal will be amazingly great. We are going to reach the quarterly milestone. So you will start influencing them. You'll feel, wow, quarterly milestone we're going to achieve. Okay, let's go for it. So you try to influence them. So negotiation influence sometimes in the question looks almost closer, but you want to understand how this guy driving the result. Is he or she giving something or trying to influence the thought process, right? That's important.
I have a question here. Acquire project team is for the outside people, right? The people we are hiring from outside, not the inter-department. Is that correct? Or it is?
No, in the second statement itself, they given that you observe that a particular employee from another department can be used.
No, I'm just asking this acquire project team. This is for the inter-department or this is from outside of the company? What do you mean by the acquire project team? What is the actual meaning of the acquire project team?
Acquiring is getting people to your project. This can be from outside.
From outside or intercompany?
Can be anywhere. They didn't mention that specifically, but not needed in this question. For your team, you're taking people, right? During the team member acquiring process, team member acquiring means I can take from outside or I can take from internal to the company. Both can happen. Is it possible? Yeah, both are possible, right? When both are possible, in one scenario, I'm seeing there are some people available in the next department, which I can acquire it for my team. Don't think acquire means only going to the job market, naukri.com, take people. No, acquiring can be in your own organization also possible, right? It's possible. Are you with me? Clear?
Shriram, I just have got one query.
Yeah.
Is the negotiation was the answer which even I thought of. But I just have got one query is that it was, if you read it till such time that the last question comes up, it is the functional manager who is trying to negotiate, because when you went to the functional manager, you have already requested for alternate days for him to provide you that particular stuff. And it is a functional manager who is saying that he can give you only for 2 days a week. So in this case, the topic or the point still remains that I want to acquire the project team member. And not so much of a negotiation, because the next step into the negotiations, if I go back and tell ask the functional manager, no, I need, or you say, okay, give me on a Monday and a Thursday or something like that, which will be, then I'm trying to negotiate, okay, with the 2 days I can manage, or can he work instead of 8 hours, he can work for 9 hours or something like that.
Okay, you want the argument to go a little more lengthy, then you'll agree as negotiation.
Yes.
Okay.
Because yes, I felt that the argument stopped too quick for me to give a very concrete or a very decisive answer.
Maybe our way of thought process could be like that, but in the management, we are talking about managers at high level. In that level, when they want to even exchange or get the resource, there could be a one sort of dialogue that itself in a negotiation. It is not like a petty shop. They keep fighting. Okay, you'll give this, I'll give that. Let's fight for it. That level also you can talk, but they're giving a very gentle and polite way. Hey, I want for these many days. They're saying, okay, I'll give for these days. So there's a kind of negotiation happening to get a resource inside this. Okay, Shriram, what they will give back to them? That's a different story. We're not going to entertain that. Here, in one question, we are not trying to find a full movie. Okay, that's sometimes there can be a problem in exam. If they're asking this incident, what happening, if two functional manager talking to each other, or two project manager and functional manager talking to each other, what they're trying to do here? Are they just a friendly talk? Is it an influential factor? What they're happening here? When they say that, yes, this guy is asking something, he or she is providing something, kind of negotiation happening.
Yeah. It's but definitely heading towards a negotiation.
It will go towards it. See, they're giving at a manager level what is happening at the leadership level. That's how it is. So if you put this, I cannot tell it's pre-assignment. I cannot tell they're developing a project team. I cannot tell acquiring the project team. I can tell, yeah, negotiation is happening because they asked 2 days, they're giving 1 day, kind of things happening, right? So that's a point. Okay, which technique is the question? No, so negotiation is the technique. I think most of us getting to the point that there should be some sort of rough and tough happen. That's called negotiation. Maybe the way we have grown up, the way we have seen culture could be like that. But in a corporate, when somebody asks something at leadership level, the other person is ready to give, it's a called negotiation skills. They're able to negotiate and get one resource for yourself. But again, some other question can go a little more down, telling that these people are so going rough, they're asking more. He says, I will give this too many resources, he'll give me 3 more resources. Can happen. But at this point, there it stops. Clear? Clear. Yeah, I know. Because in our corporate, we would have 1 hour, 2 hour of discussion is called negotiation. So our mind will think, okay, that's how it should be. Not like that. It's a kind of a gentle way of asking things. If it doesn't work out, maybe a fight later, not now. Right. Good question, by the way. Okay, let's go one more. Let's see how we think here. Let me see answers from YouTube. Are you guys putting answers there? Why don't you see any answers in YouTube? You guys are typing there? Maybe I'm missing to see. Maybe it's not loading for me. Okay, let me see the answers here. Answers are jumping to A, predominantly A or D. Okay, D. Okay, two answers coming up here, A and D. So that means B and C eliminated. Is it? Okay, let's understand the question. What's the keyword in the question? Staffs are worried. Okay. If we have read this about management, one word you have to remember. Have you heard about the term called no home or no house or no home? If you heard about this term, I'm sure you'll easily get this answer. See, here the project team is worried. Why they're worried? If this project gets over, I have to be without projects called bench time or no. It means what happening here is, let's read the question. Your project is 70% complete. Within the next 2 months, it will be 100%. Very good. Good moment. Complete. And the deliverables will be handed over to the client. It's a full story end. Afterward, you will be assigned to a new project. That's a story should happen on a happy situation. You have your staff, but they are worried about their jobs. What type of organization structure? If this is a case, one thing we have to understand, in functional projects or functional organization, they stay in the same department, right? You know that the sales department will be always there. Either the sales department firing can happen if the performance is not good, that's different. But because of some workers get over, they will not move to another department. They will be in the same place, right? One sales will complete, they go to next sales. So that's how finance will come to one financial system, next financial system. So they'll be in the same department, they will not move anywhere. So it's not functional, right? You can go for it. Matrix means definitely functional comes inside. So you cannot go matrix, you cannot go balanced, you cannot go weak also, because weak matrix is what we learned some time back. So then what is left out? Now left out is A. Why A? When you say why A, in a projectized organization, the team member live in a fear of losing their job. They know that once the project is completed, they will be sent back out of the project, and they call us a bench time. They call us a no home time, where you have to stay for the new project coming in. The billing will not happen. I'll give some clue of this, at least in the service segment, what happens. In service segment, imagine there is a 3 months of work. Once the third month gets over, the handover will happen to the customer, knowledge transfer will happen to the customer, transition will happen. Once this all happen, resource will be relieved one by one. These people will go out. Meantime, the company will have some other projects in the pipeline. So they'll try to align these people to that pipeline, right? However, it is not all the corporate get this. Now, what happens is some companies may not have the work. So what they do, they make them to stay in a place that's called a bench period. What is a bench period? You wait there, no work for you. And this is a place many people resign. The attrition rate will be very high, they resign. Or company may tell, I don't have a project, please guys go home, right? So there are some recession period happen where many people, the people in the bench only first sent out because they are not in the project. People are already in the project, they stay there. People are going to be mapped to the project, stay there. The people in the bench will be sent out. Shriram, is it applicable in all the industry? I will not tell all the industry. In some industry it is, because most of the industry, they'll be having a chain of projects. One project gets over, that same project will get enhanced. They add a version 1, version 2, version 3. New versions or new releases will happen. So the same team will continue for some time. They will not go away. But some of the projects, it will be done, it's over, they'll be dispersed. They have to move to the next segment. For example, a big construction or IT park construction happening. It may take 3 years of construction. In this 3 years, the design engineer, the project engineer, the laborers, everybody work, 500,000 people. Once it's over, the contracting company will tell that, hey guys, thanks a lot, you all did a great job, super, we'll call you back, again we get a project. So what do you mean? You want me to go home? Yeah, that's it, over. What to do with you? But if it's a company has multiple projects with them, they'll move these people to other segment. That happens, right? Yeah, Amit says bench concept is not than product-based companies. Yes, That's one of the drawback of product-based companies. Sometimes the performance drops. Is it a hard statement, Shriram? Not a hard statement. Some of the product companies, what happens is they'll continue the same product for a long time. Their level of the sense of urgency, getting tuned with the market goes down. When you have this kind of project closure and you move to next project, in this time, they have to learn things. They have to upskill themselves. If they don't do that, they won't get next project. So what happens is at least every 1-2 years, you read something, learn something. But when you stay in the same system for a long time, you become a rusted knife after years. You don't know whether you will cut a fruit or even cut a paper. That slowly it goes down. But not all the place. Some products are very creative. They make people to work hard, super good. But some place they get slightly dry. The problem is also there. It depends. We cannot tell straight away it's the one. Anyway, that's a point. Good question, good answers. I appreciate it. Hope it was a good day for you. Good. In YouTube, I can see answers are good. No home is projectized. Prakash is, Abhishek, Shivani, Sanket. Good. Thanks a lot for the answers. Fantastic. Hope it was a good day. And what we saw today, we spent a few minutes of time to talk about the organization. Why an organization should have multiple departments. Why you should have a structure in place. A startup company grows bigger and bigger because they have to serve more number of customers. They should have a different departments and functions together. Only project focus can be there. Only function focus can be there. You mix together, it's called matrix. That's what we commonly work. In that we have a strong, we have a weak, we have a balanced. Power can be like this, right? Mostly we see balanced. In balanced, we see sometimes see projectized, a little more higher power. But thing is, collaboration is very important. Very important. I keep telling that don't see by tags, see by people. When you see by people, the thought process of the hierarchy will go away and start contributing well, because that's very important. If you don't do that, you won't be called as people manager, you'll be just a manager. That's how it is, right? Good. So once again, thanks all for joining here on this Friday. We had a very interesting topic, and next Friday we'll come with another topic. We'll talk about some other concepts in project management. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to put Agile and PMP alternate weeks. So I'm seeing a lot of people little fear about Agile. So you may be going for PMP or not going for PMP or Agile exams. Keep listening some Agile concepts. You will start loving it. Wow, my God, this is pretty easy, man, right? So we'll do some Agile sessions also going forward. We'll enjoy that. Good. And people preparing for PMP, come for Saturday exams. Don't miss it, because I want to see how you're performing. Good. If you're not subscribed for YouTube, please subscribe. We keep posting a lot of success stories, a lot of interesting topics, right? Thanks a lot for being here. Have a great time. And signing out from ShriRam here. Thanks all the people who joined here, and thanks for the people in the YouTube as well. Keep rocking, be a top leader. At the beginning, I said that always have a pleasant expression around people around you, and in corporate life, things will be superb good. That's a top leadership model. Good wishes. Catch you soon. Thank you. Oh, there is any questions? You feel free to post it in the comments. We'll read through that and come back to you. Any topic specifically you want, let us know. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.